On a quiet spring morning in 1945, deep inside a dark mountain in central Germany, an American army officer opened a wooden crate and unknowingly touched the future. Inside were not weapons or treasure, but papers, thousands of pages of equations, designs, and plans. Rockets, missiles, dreams powerful enough to decide the next world order. World War II was ending, but another war had already begun. Nazi Germany had lost the battlefield, yet it had raced far ahead in science. While bombs flattened cities, German engineers were building weapons no one else had imagined. The most frightening was the V-2 rocket, the first ballistic missile in history. It fell from the sky faster than sound, killing without warning. No sirens, no defense. One moment a street existed, the next it was gone. Behind the V-2 stood a young, brilliant engineer named Wernher von Braun. As a boy, he dreamed of space, not destruction. But in Hitler's Germany, dreams survived only if they served war. Von Braun joined the Nazi Party and worked under the SS. His rockets were built using forced labor from concentration camps where thousands died from hunger, beatings, and exhaustion. The war ended before his ultimate goal, space, could begin. But his story did not end in defeat. As Germany collapsed, the Soviet Union raced from the east and the United States raced from the west. Both sides understood a terrifying truth. The next war would be fought with scientists, not soldiers. Whoever captured Germany's top minds would control the future. America moved first. In total secrecy, U.S. intelligence launched a mission later known as Operation Paperclip. Its goal was simple and shocking: find the best German scientists and bring them to America before the Soviets could. Their Nazi pasts would be erased, rewritten, or ignored. Von Braun knew this moment would come. He surrendered deliberately to American forces, carrying carefully prepared documents and stories. He presented himself not as a Nazi engineer, but as a scientist trapped by circumstance. American officers, under pressure and fear, accepted the explanation. SS records disappeared, party memberships were minimized, moral questions were postponed. Within months, former Nazi scientists were living on U.S. soil, guarded but protected. They worked at military bases in Texas, New Mexico, and Alabama. Their families joined them. They wore American clothes. They learned English. Their past was sealed inside classified files. The first rockets they tested in America were rebuilt V-2s, the same weapons that once destroyed London. Locals watched in awe as missiles rose into the desert sky, unaware of their history. Then, the Cold War tightened its grip. In 1949, the Soviet Union tested its first nuclear bomb. Panic spread through Washington. Nuclear weapons were terrifying, but rockets that could carry them across oceans were worse. Once again, von Braun and his team became essential. They designed missiles. They trained American engineers. Slowly, the image of the former enemy changed. Von Braun was no longer seen as a Nazi scientist. He became a visionary, a charismatic speaker who talked about space exploration, not war. He appeared on television, even collaborating with Disney to explain rockets to children. America trusted him, celebrated him, but history does not stay buried forever. Survivors from concentration camps began speaking out. Documents emerged proving that von Braun knew about the brutal labor camps supplying his rockets. He claimed he had no power to stop it. Historians still argue whether he chose survival or ambition over morality. Yet history moved faster than judgment. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the world's first satellite. Its beeping signal echoed fear across America. If the Soviets could put something over U.S. cities, they could drop something too. The space race exploded overnight. America turned again to von Braun. Under his leadership, massive rockets were built. Failures came first, explosions broadcast on live television, national embarrassment. But progress followed. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy shocked the world by promising that America would land a man on the moon before the decade ended. Behind that promise stood a man whose journey began in Nazi Germany. The Saturn V rocket became von Braun's masterpiece. It was the most powerful machine ever built, shaking the Earth as it lifted humans toward space. In July 1969, millions watched as an American astronaut stepped on the moon. The nation celebrated triumph, courage, and destiny. Few remembered the underground factories, the forced labor, the moral compromises that helped make that moment possible. Operation Paperclip succeeded beyond imagination. It helped America win the opening battle of the Cold War and reach the moon. But it also left unanswered questions about justice, responsibility, and the price of progress. Von Braun died honored as a pioneer. His streets carried his name. His legacy, however, remains divided between the man who helped humanity touch the stars and the system that allowed him to rise without reckoning. This is not a story of heroes or villains alone. It is a story of fear, ambition, and choices made when the future seemed more important than the past. And it reminds us that even the brightest achievements can cast the longest shadows.